to record, and I will share my screen for a quick little PowerPoint that we're going to have. So who's excited about vacations, right? So this is a time of year that several people will go on vacations. You know, either you're going to pay for it yourself, but I always tell people the best vacations are free vacations. And guys, October, you know, around late October, that's the time of the year that the days get shorter. You know, it gets dark around 5 o'clock, 5:30 or so. And that is the perfect time to be going out to Mexico. So I got this email yesterday from Nicole Danwood. It's got just a great little tour of the hotel that we'll be staying at, guys. And I'll tell you what, I've been on lots of vacations whenever I was growing up. You know, we went out west several times, but nothing like this. Like, we never went to a 5-star resort in Mexico where everything is just top notch. The service is just absolutely phenomenal. I really never got that really good experience until I came here to Family Heritage, you know, and every year I make sure I win this trip because this is honestly like just such a great experience that we deserve to be on this trip, especially if you're working hard and working consistently 40 hours a week and putting the time in. Your family deserves you to be on this trip as well. So here's just some pictures and just some little information about the trip, just to kind of get you super excited. So whenever it's 97 degrees today, you have a reason why you're going to get out of your car and go to the next business and be excited about going to the next business, because you got that long-term vision. So when an obstacle comes up, we're not staring down the obstacle. We're going to plow through it, just like all the successful Olympians have had to do getting prepared for the Olympics. So guys, this is a 5-star resort, you know, white sand, beautiful beaches. Just check out this picture. This is just one of the photos that we have. Obviously, it's got a lazy river. It is a 5-star resort. There's several bars all throughout the entire resort. There's 10 restaurants, snacks, 24/7 in-room service. Okay. It is rare, really anywhere, to get 24/7 room service in America. So that's one of the great parts about being here, is that we have, it's 3 a.m. and you want that nice pizza, you can order that pizza, right? And they will have it to you within about 30 minutes. There's land sports. You know, there's going to be beach volleyball, you know, lots of beach volleyball. There'll be some pool volleyball, throwing frisbee in the pool. That's always fun. Service. So you can order drinks. You can be at the pool and order drinks, and they're all free because it's all inclusive. So everything you do in the resort, unless you want to tip the bartender, you won't really spend a dime when you're physically on the resort, which is pretty awesome. There's a jogging track here, which is something that I've never seen at a resort, a jogging track. That is pretty cool. There's also going to be a gym there as well. Daily activities that you can do. There's going to be nightlife there. There's always a couple clubs at these resorts that they're always fun after hours. Wi-Fi 24/7. And there's also functions going on. You'll probably see a wedding when you're down there. I feel like every time I go down here, there's always a wedding going on at some point during the week as well. So those are always fun to watch as well. Be part of the parties, you know, kind of after the wedding. And yeah, just obviously gratuities included. There's lots of other perks just being here. Hard Rock is a very big name, guys. It is like the top, you know, it is like the Globe Life of the insurance business for like the hotel business. Like, it is the top dog. It is the place that you want to be. And then here's what the rooms look like. So just check this out. This is what the bedroom looks like. And I'm even excited about one of the best parts, guys, is they have like the best bathrooms at these resorts. They're huge, massive master bathrooms that are always super nice. So actually excited about that as well. It's going to have a mini fridge. Every room has its own mini fridge stacked with whatever you want in your mini fridge. So that's one of the best parts. There's a big, nice dining hall. Here's a picture of the dining hall. Very classy. They're going to have endless top shelf liquor at your disposal. Okay, 24 hours a day. So it's not just, you know, during power hour. It is during 24/7. So they're going to have high quality meats. You know, if you're healthy, vegan, I mean, they able to suit any single person's food situation. If you want to eat sushi, if you want Japanese, if you want Mexican, if you want Chinese, if you want steak, you know, whatever it is, you can have whatever you want at all times at a resort like this, because they are all about the customer service And it's a place that you want to be at. You just totally get wined and dined the days that you're there. And look, we even have a spa. So one of my favorite parts about these trips is getting a massage. Okay, like I love getting massage, couples massage. I don't really have much time to do that here while I'm here in the United States, just because I work so much. But whenever I go on these trips, I don't have anything to do. There's really no agenda. So I have way more time in the day to do whatever the heck I want to do. So I've gotten a massage last probably 4 or 5 years that I've been on these trips, and they are legendary. They are awesome. So you can really kind of treat yourself. And look at this very last photo we got. It looks like we even have some like a water park that's right there. So that's pretty cool. If you like, water slides, water park, you can even have that at your disposal, which that looks pretty cool.
Slip and slide.
Yeah. It's got what, 6 slip and slides. It's pretty exciting. So this is like I said, Hard Rock, guys, is the top shelf. This is like the alpha dog of resorts. It's like the place that you want to be. And this is actually a picture of Van and Todd Stiles 10 years ago when they were at the Hard Rock many years back. So yeah, guys, let's all go to Mexico here in 2 months, and we are almost at the halfway point. So make sure that you know exactly. The reports came out on Tuesday with where you're sitting at, and Nicole always send those updates on how much premium you need to average. So make sure that you know exactly how much premium you need to average this week, and let's get ahead of those goals today. So guys, we're going to go through 2 little pieces. The first part is very simple. We're going to talk a little bit about field recruiting in your personal network. Okay, so I talked to my sales coach yesterday, Gina Parker from Southwestern Consulting, and she told me the story that I'm going to share with you guys. And so it relates to us because we have a bunch of friends. We all have our personal network, Facebook friends, social media friends. We have our friends from high school, friends from college, friends from ex-coworkers, your entire network of people that you have, in your cell phone, right? So, and she was telling me yesterday, it is hard to recruit those people if you're recruiting them yourself. It is really hard to recruit your brother or your sister or your best friend or one of your groomsmen, or one of your wife's bridesmaids. It's hard to recruit them yourself. And it's almost better if you just kind of put the bug in the ear and let somebody else recruit them for you. Okay. So it's almost like that analogy. And she said this, like, remember when you were growing up and your parents would tell you to do something and you should do it, but you just don't do it. And they tell you to do the same thing over and over again. But whenever one of your friends' parents tells you that you should do that exact same thing, it's almost like, oh my gosh, yes, I've heard that before. And in your head, you're thinking, oh my gosh, my mom said the exact same thing. And then you start doing it. Not because your mom told you to do it. It's because one of your friends' moms told you that you should start doing that. Okay. The same thing here. So Van Davenport told me for 5 years that I should get a sales coach. My first 5 years, he was getting coached by Gary Michaels. And he's like, Kyle, like you should get a sales coach. It would take you to a higher standard, higher level of credibility. It wasn't probably 5 years. It was probably 3 years that before I actually got a sales coach. But I was like, yeah, that sounds great. But I never took the initiative on getting a sales coach. And then Gina just randomly calls me one day, and I committed to having a sales coach just like that, right? It was because I knew that it was a good thing, a good investment. And even though Van had told me probably 20 times I should get one, I was kind of, being just like every other human being, procrastinating on doing the right thing sometimes, and just, procrastinating on investing money, obviously. So, but once she called me, it was game over. So guys, how that relates to recruiting is the exact same way. So you guys, each person on this call has your own personal network of friends, okay, that trust you. But if you personally recruit them, it's going to be harder to get them to go through the first step of the process. Okay. It is going to be not all the times. There's some situations that it's better for you to go through that, but there's a lot of people that if they just got a call from me or Van or Todd Stiles or Brad, whoever your market director or agency owner is, if they just got a call from us, it's going to be the nail in the coffin. It is going to be game over, and they're going to be on board, and they're going to be. So think about people that if you were to be in Mexico this time next year, right, with two people that you love, that, you know, it doesn't have to be Mexico. It could be, you know, the incentive trips that we go on next year, you know, wherever we're going. You know, it could be if you're going to the Super Bowl, if you're going on a snowboard trip, if you're going to the beach on a beach trip. Who do you want on your team at the national sales meeting next year? Okay. I want you to write down two people's names, and I want you to text these people's names and numbers to either your agency owner or your direct leader, because they're going to reach out to these people and do exactly what Gina Parker did to me a year and a half ago. Okay. And guys, we have been trained. We know exactly what to say with every situation. I would also recommend, don't just text a name and number, text some pre-approach. That way our first conversation, obviously when we approach a business, the more pre-approach, the better. That way we can tailor it to the business. Same thing with field recruiting. So much better if we get some notes, you know, where they went to high school, you know, if they're single mom, single dad, you know, if they have kids of how old, you know, where they work at right now, you know, what they went to college for, you know, how you know them, or whatever their situation is, all the pre-approach that you have about them, and also why you feel like that they would do well. Because guys, whenever we talk to these people, that's what we talk about. You know, we build you up big time, and we build them up. And I promise you, it's always a good conversation. Whether they do a first interview, they do the career spotlight or not, they're going to be happy that we reach out to them. So look, two people that you may be intimidated to approach in your personal network. You know, you may have already put the bug in their ear, but nothing's happened from it. That's totally okay. That's totally okay, guys. I recruited Brian Glazinski, but I didn't run all of his interviews. I let Van do everything, right? Because he was my buddy, right? The same thing for you guys. Text the information to pre-approach to your agency owner, two people that you want to be at the national sales meeting or Mexico with you this time next year. Okay, so that's part one of the call, guys, just making sure that you do that, because the people that do that, I promise you, if we get, you know, if there's, you know, 30 people on this call right now, 28 participants, that should be 56 people that we have text from here the next 10, 15 minutes. Okay, so that's part one, guys. Let's go to part two. So we're going to talk a little bit about being excellent at this career. What does excellence look like? And I've gotten a lot of notes from other agency owners on this topic. So I didn't think of all this. I've kind of looked over my notes from the last 5 or 6 years that I have on my computer and kind of put it together. I've been saving up for this part for a long time. I'm very excited. So I want to talk about excellence today, guys, because we have the Olympics that's going on right now. So the Olympics is the absolute best of the best in the entire world. Okay, in the entire world. Okay. Think about the pressure of being in the Olympics. Okay, just knowing that you may only have 30 seconds or a minute and a half for your event. Some people even less. And the entire world is watching you. And if you mess up, it's game over. You may not ever get another shot. Most people are in only one Olympics. Very few people, you know, are in multiple Olympics. And so if you mess up, there's a high chance you will not be in the next Olympics. Okay. And you work, they only come around every 4 years. That's another thing. It comes around once every 4 years. Think about the pressure, the amount of just like stress leading up to it, knowing that the entire world will be watching you. Okay. That's a lot of pressure. Okay. And so I'm going to talk about how that applies to our business and how just using that excellence can be, you know, applicable to kind of what we do. So this is something that you definitely want to take notes on. There's going to be a lot of content I'm going to kind of cover right now. So the first thing is the great thing about the Olympics. It only happens once every 4 years. It's a great way to have an icebreaker with people. So when you walk into a business, we always tell everybody, what's the first part of the sales talk? It's called the icebreakers. The last thing you ever want to say is, hey, my name is. That's the last thing if that's the first thing that comes out of your mouth, your approach is not going to work out most of the time. You want to build rapport with people, right? Whether you see something cool on the wall, they're a Carolina Panthers fan, I don't care what it is, build rapport with something. But right now, the weather obviously is 100 degrees every day. That's the easy thing to build rapport with. Man, it's hot outside. Holy smokes. Okay, but right now you can build rapport with the Olympics. Are you watching it? What's your favorite part? What are you excited about? Right? Okay. So the Olympics is only going to be on for a certain amount of time, so take advantage of it. Okay. And we just have to remember that we have to connect with people before we tell them what we do, because we have real conversations with people. We have to get them to trust us and open up to us. Okay. And if they aren't into it, we can go have a conversation with somebody else. Having an abundance mindset and being okay with hearing no, because there's so many people out there. But, when we walk into a business, we get to be the best version of ourselves. And we get to be really good at communicating with people, because that is extremely important, not just for this job, but for life. For everything in life, it's very important to be a great communicator. So we get to use the Olympics as a great icebreaker this week and next week. So make sure that you take advantage of that while you still can. So number 2, part of it being excellent, is when you're watching the Olympics, every single person has a routine. Okay, they have mastered their routines with precision. Okay, so that relates to us, because what is your routine? Okay, just, if you watch swimmers, runners, they have the same routine. If you watch, I watched on Sunday, I think it was the basketball team when we played France. We ended up losing, but when you watch somebody do a free throw in basketball, they do the same thing over and over again. They put their foot the exact same. They've shot thousands, hundreds of thousands of free throws in their life, but they do the same thing every single time. They don't take shortcuts with their routine. They put their foot in the exact same spot. They put their hand on the ball the exact same way. They dribble the exact same amount of time, spin the ball the exact same amount. They have the exact same shooting form every single time. Every single time. It is the exact same. So think about, what is your routine? What is your routine in the morning and at night? Is it consistent? Because if it's all over the place, your routine's all over the place, your results are most likely going to be all over the place. Okay, just like doing our sales talk. Do you do the same sales talk over and over again? Because this is the first time Miss Jones will ever see you and will ever hear the words that come out of your mouth. This is the first time she's ever going to hear your sales talk. So making sure that you do the same thing the right way every single time. And you have to hold yourself accountable to your routine, because you're your own business owner. You're the CEO. I'm not your CEO. Van's not your CEO. You're the CEO of your company. So you have to hold yourself accountable. So right now, are you holding yourself accountable? Are you actually taking notes right now? Because you're the business owner. Okay. And just think about your routine every single day. What are some areas that you can do to improve it? Like, are you getting started at 10 o'clock every day, and then some days 9:30, some days 9 o'clock? Or do you have a very, 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 very set start time that you are never later than this exact same start time when you're walking into your first appointment of the day? It's critically important routine. Okay. Thousands of reps over and over and over and over again. Okay. It's not just important for business, it's important for your lifestyle as well. Just in life. Okay. And just really focus on what you can master this week. You don't have to fix 20 things at once. Just master one thing at a time. One thing at a time. That's what this business is about. Getting better every day, one skill at a time. Okay. So let's go to number 3. When you're watching the Olympics, they are in the zone. They are mentally prepped and they are in the zone. So it is important here, if you want to help yourself get in the zone, there's definitely a lot of things you can do that can get you your head and your heart right, so you can perform at the best possible talent that you have. So one thing is just visualizing success every single day, just expecting good things to happen, just expecting. So at nighttime, prepping yourself for the next day, writing out your game plan and thinking about it. Think about good things happen. Okay. What's that supposed to look like? You know, whenever you walk into a business expecting that everything is going to come together, you're going to set up an enrollment, you're going to get the manager protected the very first day, You're going to get past the gatekeeper because your positivity, your enthusiasm, because they want to be in business with that kind of person. Okay. That's why we have people every single day on this call that go out and have a huge day every single day. I know yesterday, Brad Phillips for over 3,700. Last Monday, John Crawford had a green out. There's several people in Davenport agencies. I don't know everybody's stats in Davenport agencies. Elise Houghton had a slow Monday and Tuesday, wrote 3,500 in one business yesterday, in one stop. Why? Because that's supposed to happen. Okay. But you have to have the right attitude and the right activities for that to happen for you. You're supposed to be great, but it does take work. It takes a lot of work, especially now. We're in a very busy life. We have one of the worst things. It's called social media, and that grabs people's attention. It grabs people's attention where people just stare at their phone. So you need to pause. You need to reset every single day and meditate every single day. We have to do that because we have to perform and get in the zone. You can't just work hard to be successful. You have to be 100% mentally clear. You have to be present with people, be in the moment, because it's all about them, not about you. Okay. So that's just, getting prepared, getting mentally prepared, getting in the zone. As you watch these Olympians, it's not just about their physical attributes that makes them successful. It's their mental preparation that is just as important, or even more important, actually, for a lot of people. Okay, let's go to number 4. Number 4 thing that I've noticed just about excellence, with the Olympics and how it relates to our business is just how the top people are able to shake off a bad rep and bounce back. The best of the best are able to shake off a bad rep and bounce back. Okay. We've all done this. Some people on this call tens and thousands of times, approaching, think about the Olympians, how many times they've flipped, how many times they fall. If you're in gymnastics, think about how many times those girls have fallen. Okay. You can't let it phase you. You have to be able to bounce back. How many shots you've missed in basketball? Obstacles happen. Things aren't going to go your way all the time. There's uncontrolled things that happen. Weather, it's super hot. Life, things in your life will be coming up. Kids, things are going to happen to your kids. Spouse. But you have to be somebody who bounces back whenever things happen in your personal life. If you meet somebody rude, or if you have an enrollment that you're excited about that goes south, that cancels, or just nobody's there that you're super excited about, in this business, this is a quote that I've heard from Amanda Arndt and her agency owner, Travis Wilson, several times. It's called, it's 10% of what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. In this business, everybody has the same obstacles. Everybody has the exact same obstacles at some point, but it's 10% of what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. So all the obstacles that occur your way, it's how you see it. If you view it as a challenge, view it as a challenge that you can run through, not away from. So when you have an obstacle, don't run away from it, run through it. Because if you run away, it's easy to do it the next time and the time after that. But if you continue to run through those obstacles the right way, you're flexing your muscles. So that way you're flexing your emotional and your middle muscles. That way when hard things happen, it's not a big deal. It's building up your emotional muscles. And just know that whenever these things happen, you're almost telling yourself, there's a lot of people that may not have responded this way, but that's not me. I'm going to be the kind of person that overcomes obstacles. You got to tell yourself that. You got to have that positive self-talk. I'm going to be the kind of person that overcomes obstacles. I want to tell a story to my team later. I want to tell a story to my agency owner. I had a very slow Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but I had a huge finish on Thursday and Friday. It was awesome. That's supposed to happen today and tomorrow. It's part of being great, guys. It's part of being great. Not every day is awesome whenever you're an Olympic athlete. They have a lot of bad days. They have bad weeks, okay? They have strong finishes. Regardless of the situations, they push through. That's why they are where they're at right now. So let's go to number 5, guys, and this is the last one. Number 5. So to be excellent, there has to be discipline and sacrifice to be successful. If you don't work, there's no elevator for success or greatness. You have to take the stairs in this business, and they are one at a time. You have to take the stairs, they are one at a time. And you have to be good at saying no. You have to be good at saying no to things that don't fall in line with who you are and where you're going. It's very easy to say yes to everything, where you can put too much on your plate. A great example is right now, while it's 100 degrees outside, it's important that you guard your schedule. You have to guard your schedule. And there's a reason why we have our incentives to 5-star resorts with the best people at the best time of the year. Because that way we can be disciplined right now, put in the sacrifice, so you could be rewarded for doing that. But anything that you want to achieve in life, even outside this business, you have to put in the work, you have to put in the time, and you have to guard your schedule, because there are no shortcuts worth any place. There are no shortcuts worth any place going. So just imagine the people you see in the Olympics, the countless hours of practice, waking up early, working late when nobody's watching them. When was the last time that you just sat alone and hand wrote out your sales talk with just a good old-fashioned piece of paper and pen, wrote out your sales talk piece by piece? You have to be able to hand write every single part of it, because that's how you know you have it down. Then check the actual sales talk. So whenever you write it without looking at the sales talk, you put it right beside the actual sales talk, see how close you are to it. If you haven't looked at your sales talk in a month or two, then shame on you. Don't beat yourself up. Just know that that's an opportunity that you can improve on. And that makes all the difference in the world. Small hinges swing big doors in this business. Small hinges swing big doors. So all it takes in this business is one little tweak, one little daily discipline, one little habit that you tweak. That's the difference. That's the difference of writing a green out to 15 to 17,000 in a week. Okay, that's the difference of you're consistently writing builders weeks 3,000-4,000 to going up to 9,000 to 12,000. Or if you're writing green outs consistently, to getting up to 15 to 17,000. It does take time. And then on top of that, even in addition to writing it out, recording your presentation yourself, because tapes don't lie. That way, whenever you hear it yourself, you can hear how accurate you are with the words that you're saying with the sales talk. Because tapes, recordings, they do not lie. We may think that we're doing everything by the book, but whenever I go follow people that say that they're doing everything by the book, they're not. So lastly, so if it feels like you're just selling and telling, it just means that you haven't done it enough. If you feel like you're just selling people all the time or just telling people what to do, it just means, guys, that you just haven't done this enough or put in the time so you can feel comfortable to have a conversation with people, to have fun and connect. Then it's automatic. Then we can serve people and put the best product in the market in front of everybody and just find buyers. Because we know we have the rest down. We know we have the greatest sales talk there is. We know we have great communication skills. We know we have awesome trial closing questions. We know we have to close down word for word. We know all the rebuttals to every single situation. But when we put in the time and effort, we know exactly what we are supposed to say, and it's not even fair for the prospect. Okay, we know exactly what we're supposed to say, but they do not know what they're supposed to say. Mrs. Jones, they're more nervous than we are because they don't know what they're supposed to say. They don't have a sales talk for this, but we do. Okay, so then that way we can just perform at our very best and do service for Mrs. Jones. Okay, so guys, that is the call today. I want to relay that. That is called the excellent call.